research that I did for that role helped me really understand that what Patsy left behind was golden and comforting and beautiful and important. She spoke to the depths of the emotions of the modern woman in a way like no one else ever did before. And her songs went way beyond the context of country music to universal audiences. So welcome to her museum. You're about to take that journey, following a little girl with big dreams down a yellow brick road from a broken home in Winchester, Virginia, to international stardom that she achieved right here in Nashville. When Patsy Cline started out as a country girl singer in the 50s, she was dressed in cowgirl fringe. It would have been hard to imagine that she'd turn into one of the most influential female vocalists of the 20th century. Virginia Patterson Hensley was born on September 8, 1932, in Winchester, Virginia. It was at the height of the Great Depression, and Patsy, as she would come to be known, grew up feeling the effects of that lingering economic hardship. Patsy's father, 27 years older than her mother, left the family when Patsy was 15. To supplement her mother's meager income as a seamstress, Patsy left school to help support the family. She worked mostly at waitress jobs around town, but she never gave up on her dream of traveling to Nashville and one day singing on the Grand Ole Opry. Folks about town in the musical know recall Patsy as a diamond in the rough. She got her first singing break at local radio station WINC when she was in her early teens. Her radio appearances increased her popularity enough that she was able to sing with the local popular weekend bands in the bars and clubs around Winchester. This led to the signing of her first record contract as her dreams started to become a reality.
Let's give her a real Western welcome to Miss Patsy Cline.
I've loved and lost again. Oh, what a crazy world we're living in. True love has no chance to win. I've loved and lost again.
And one night, at one of her shows, she ran into Charlie Dick. Now, she was already married, but that didn't deter Charlie. As it happens, Patsy's marriage to Gerald Cline was already on the rocks. She started a romance with Charlie, and Charlie accompanied her to Nashville for the sessions that would produce the song Walkin' After Midnight.
I go out walking after midnight, out in the moonlight, just like we used to do. I'm always walking after midnight, searching for you.
Arthur Godfrey was so impressed with Patsy that he invited her to come to New York to perform and compete on his very popular network series, Arthur Godfrey's Talent Scout Show, the American Idol of its day.
How many of these have you ever won?
This is the first.
This is the first one. Is that the first record you made?
No, I've got 4 records made.
Have you had any hits?
No.
You know, I got a hunch this one is.
Oh, I hope so.
Oh, this is commercial, isn't it? Isn't it commercial?
Walkin' After Midnight not only becomes an instant country hit, but also jumps onto the pop charts. Patsy Cline had arrived. But the success was fleeting. It would take 4 more years before Patsy was able to consolidate her newfound popularity. It was during this period that Charlie got his draft notice, and he shuffled off to Fort Bragg in North Carolina. 6 months later, Charlie came home to Winchester, and on September 15, 1957, Patsy and Charlie were married, and Julie was born on August 25, 1958. They waited for Charlie's discharge from the Army. At the time, Charlie was still getting his Army checks from the government. At first, they didn't cash them because they knew they weren't legally theirs. But when they decided to move to Nashville, their first stop along the way was the bank where they cashed all the checks before hitting the road for Music City, USA. When they arrived in Nashville, it was almost like starting over. But with new associations and being in the middle of country music, it didn't take Patsy long to seize the new opportunities. By January of 1960, Patsy realized her lifelong musical dream when she became a regular member of the Grand Ole Opry.
This is Grant Turner. Next up is a young lady who's the hottest thing in country music these days. And here she is singing one of her big hits. It's Patsy Cline.
By now, her previous recording contract had expired. Patsy was free to record for the prestigious label Decca Records with some of the best pickers in Nashville. The famed vocal group the Jordanaires joined her as backing singers, and the legendary producer Owen Bradley guided her way. It was the release of I Fall to Pieces, written by songwriting legends Harlan Howard and Hank Cochran, that proved to be the turning point in both her professional and personal life. For the first time in their lives, Patsy and Charlie were enjoying some good times financially. They could now finally afford the dream house that Patsy had so often talked about. They found a place in Goodlettsville, Tennessee, a few miles north of Nashville. Though it was a relatively modest brick bungalow, for Patsy it represented the ultimate reward for her achievements as a singer. Patsy and producer Owen Bradley continued to make magic in the studio together, charting hits and creating a Nashville sound that would come to be known as Countrypolitan.
I've got your picture that you gave to me, and it's signed with love, just like it used to be.
After she gave birth to the second apple of her eye, Patsy took a few weeks off before going back on the road. 2 months later, tragedy struck. Patsy and her brother had gone grocery shopping in Madison. On the way home, they were involved in a devastating car crash. 2 passengers in the other car were killed. Patsy was rushed to Madison Hospital with a broken hip, a fractured arm, multiple contusions, and a severe facial laceration. In response to the get well cards she'd received from her fans, Patsy appeared on the Grand Ole Opry and received one of the loudest ovations ever heard in the Ryman Auditorium. Patsy would invariably end up hanging out with songwriters like Harlan Howard, Hank Cochran, Justin Tubb, and Willie Nelson.
I'm crazy, thinking that my love could hold you.
The greatness of that song, often noted as one of the top country songs ever recorded, didn't escape the notice of either Patsy or her producer Owen Bradley.
Crazy, I'm crazy for feeling so lonely.
It was recorded after Patsy left the hospital from the car accident. Recording that song required more than a few takes over a couple of days. She just had to make that song her own rather than record it in the style in which she'd originally heard Willie perform it. By the end of the year, Patsy would be back at the top of the charts with Crazy. That's in the history books as the most played jukebox song ever.
Imagine me still loving you.
Throughout the early 60s, Patsy undertook several grueling tours of the U.S. and Canada with many of the stars of the day, including Farron Young, Ferlin Husky, Minnie Pearl, Bill Anderson, Little Jimmy Dickens, Billy Walker, and Johnny Cash.
There, and that's not the half.
In 1962, Patsy became the first woman in country music to perform at New York's Carnegie Hall. Patsy was also one of the first country artists to headline in Vegas when she appeared at the Mint Hotel and Casino.
I'd still take you.
The transition from country girl singer to an artist of stature was cemented with the Las Vegas shows. As Loretta Lynn recalls, she was wearing long gowns and playing Vegas when that was unheard of for girl country singers. Patsy was selling out concerts and topping the charts.
Down by the riverside, down by the riverside.
In In March of 1963, Patsy had been performing at a benefit for a recently deceased disc jockey in Kansas City. Her manager, Randy Hughes, was flying Patsy, Hawkshaw Hawkins, and Cowboy Copas home to Nashville. Their last stop was Dyersburg, Tennessee, only 90 miles from home. Despite warnings, the decision was made to keep going. On March 5th, 1963, somewhere over Camden, Tennessee, the small plane was swallowed by the storm and crashed into the hilly terrain. There were no survivors. Patsy Cline was buried at Shenandoah Memorial Park in her hometown of Winchester. That is where the story of her life rests, the sweet dream over. But of course her music, her influence, and her inspirational legacy live on, impacting us every time we hear a Patsy Cline song. In 1995, Patsy won the Lifetime Achievement Award at the Grammys. It was presented by Barbra Streisand and Peggy Lee. Patsy Cline's greatest hit CD has been certified diamond for sales of over 10 million copies. In 2005, it was listed in the Guinness Book of World Records for remaining on the music charts the longest of any female artist of any music genre in history. These are remarkable accomplishments. Patsy Cline's life was cut short, but she remains an iconic figure to this day. And now, we're about to go behind the legend. You're going to meet the wife, the mother, the friend who was known for her extraordinary generosity, her extraordinarily bawdy sense of humor, and her passion for life. But hang on a second, before you go, I just got to share a joke with you that's known in music circles. Okay. How many girl singers does it take to sing Crazy? All of them. Enjoy yourself. Have a great time. Next time you come, bring somebody else. We want everybody to know and love Patsy as much as we do.
I don't get the joke.